Hello and welcome to another episode of Mac Minute. In this episode we're going to be covering Finder, kind of what it is and just a few ways that you might be able to utilize it just a little bit better. Finder is pretty self-explanatory. It is exactly what it sounds like. It helps you find things, and there's a couple ways that you can access it. While you're sitting on the desktop, you probably see Finder immediately up there in the top left corner. If you take a look, we have the Finder menu here, and basically this just lets you know that Finder is currently being used. Finder is always on whenever you're using your Mac. If you return to the desktop, you will see that Finder is always there up in the top left. This section here is always a good spot to look in case you're wondering which program you're currently using. And Finder, although it's not really a program, is something that's always running when you're using your Mac, because it's there to help you find things, and your Mac never knows when you're going to be looking for something. So it's always kind of on standby, ready and waiting for you. What the program looks like itself, Finder, is right down here, this little smile face. And if you take a look right around where my mouse cursor is peeking out down here, you'll see a little white bar. That lets you know that that program is active and it's being used right now, which is why you see Finder up here in the top left. If I switch over to something else, like maybe Text Expander, it's got the little white line there, let me know that it's open, but it's not active because it's not over here. So if I click on it, it'll bring Text Expander up to the top, and you'll see that it's changed to Text Expander. If I close Text Expander and click back on the desktop, you'll see Finder. This is good because a lot of times we'll think that we closed the program, but we didn't actually close it. And you'll know about that when you see that little white line down there at the bottom. So if I go ahead and open up Finder, immediately what it does is it brings me to this window where I can access my pictures, my music, my movies, things that I've downloaded recently, all the items in my documents folder, everything on my desktop, which I can already see right over here, but I can also see it again just by clicking on it, same things. All my applications, in case you're wondering where a program might be, maybe you want to use Reflector, but you can't seem to find it down here at the dock, or you can't find self-service, like if this wasn't over here. Let's try that again. If this wasn't over here, and I needed to make a shortcut to it, I could open up Finder, sneak over into Applications, scroll down a little bit. It's in alphabetical order. You can sort it by alphabetical order here by clicking on Name. You can even sort it by the date that it was last modified. You can even sort it by size if you wanted to. But I'm going to keep looking for self-service, and there it is. So I can just drag that just by clicking and dragging it, and I can put it anywhere in here I want. So I'm going to put it right back here. So I can see my applications. And there's actually a whole video on Airdrop that I made that you can go back and check. If you want to send one file to another Mac and you're both on the same Wi-Fi, Airdrop is a great way to accomplish that. Maybe you have a file that's a little bit too big for email and you want to be able to do it. Airdrop is something that's very helpful. So if I'm looking at a list of my applications, you'll see I keep them in this list format just because here at the school we use a lot of different programs and it's helpful for me to have them in alphabetical order. But I have a few buttons up here at my disposal that'll kind of let me change it a little bit. I can click on the first here. As you'll see, it'll say show items as icons. So they'll look just like, just kind of like they do on the desktop. They'll have a little picture representing each one. Same list of applications, just displayed a different way. There's the list view that I like, right here. There's also this column view, and it's a kind of a combination of the list as well as a little blank space. And what happens is, if I click on, let's say I click on Adobe, this is a whole folder. So if I click on it, I actually get everything else that's in the Adobe folder. I have another folder in there, and I have some more things. So it lets me kind of look at everything without having to open each folder. I can kind of just see what's in it. If it's just an individual, this is also a folder, but if it's just an individual program like the App Store, it'll show its It'll show its logo, it'll show its name, what type of thing the file is, even how big it is. It'll just give you some more information. So it can be pretty helpful. What's neat about this view, not so much with applications, but maybe with movies. If I take a look while I'm in that view, and I go to some of the videos I've worked on, I can click on one, and I can actually play it right here in the screen. Get a little preview of it. It's pretty neat because maybe if I'm not quite sure if it's a file that I'm looking for, whether it's the right one, I can actually take a look at it without having to open up the whole program or the whole document. I can do that with even with like flyers or things like that. If I had multiple pages, I could scroll through them. So Finder can really help save you a lot of time, both in searching as well as in even just for looking for information. There's also one more view, and that's Cover Flow. And what Cover Flow does is it kind of makes it look like iTunes a little bit. And by moving my finger on the trackpad, I can scroll through it. I can also click on these items in order to open up an application. If I wanted to open up Game Center, I could do that. Cover Flow is pretty neat, but if you have a lot of applications, it could be kind of cumbersome to look through. It does still give you the list under it, although you can adjust that by dragging it up or down depending on how much you want to have. So it looks nice, but it's really just a combination of two views. In another Mac Minute video, we'll go over a few more things that you can do with Finder, but hopefully these few tips will help you when you're using your computer every day. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send us an email at tech@sch.org.